Last year, I had a client who was succeeding. They just wrapped a successful capital campaign. On top of that, they're raising a little over 2 million a year for their regular budget and expenses. And this client was working really hard and working a lot, working into the evening pretty often, working on the weekends, constantly answering emails. And we started working together. He wanted a different way to work. He wanted to believe that he didn't have to overwork to raise millions of dollars. And of course, this is what I believe. It's totally possible. I did that. I raised millions of dollars without working 60-hour plus weeks. And I've done it working way too much. I've done it lots of different ways. And we were talking about scaling back and what that actually looked like for this particular executive director to work less and raise more. It's the first thing that we do in our work together, the big ask blueprint. It's like, what are the biggest asks that you need to make? Where can you really leverage the 80-20 principle? 80% of results come from 20% of effort. So in order to grow, it's actually going to require you to subtract things from your calendar. And this is hard to believe for a lot of people, but growth is a matter of subtraction. If you've already raised around $1 million, it's not about doing more. It's about doing less and doing it better, being more authentically who you are, dropping this professional facade, letting go, empowering other people on your team to take risks and to fail and to do it not as good as you so that they can learn and grow and gain a sense of competence and mastery in these areas that you have let go of. And now you are focused on doing the things that only you can do. There are certain meetings, certain decisions that only the executive director can do. There are certain emails, meetings, decisions, tasks, projects that anybody on the team can do. And so this client was at that point where there were things that they had been doing that they needed to let go of. And he actually had the support, the staff to be able to do it. And it was still really hard. And we're in our coaching call. And I asked him, have you considered that you may not be able to let go of this because you need to work really hard to prove your worth? And he said, yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. I don't feel worthy. And I need to work overtime to try to attempt to feel worthy. And the funny thing is, right, he had been working really hard for years and still didn't feel worthy after achieving a level of success that no one he knows has achieved and raising millions of dollars and helping his community in really beautiful, powerful ways, setting out to do what he intended, and he actually got it done. He led an amazing team and they accomplished a level of success that they had never accomplished before. And even after all of that, he's still not feeling worthy and not able to let go of things on his calendar and responsibilities and empower his team because he needed it. He needed to work really hard for himself to feel okay about himself. And I realized that this is like a super, super personal conversation that I'm having with you. And it's really, really common, this phenomenon. And I've talked about it, I've referenced it a couple of times, I think in previous episodes, where talking about there's two different energies, there's two different essences that nonprofit folks, or anyone for that matter, do their work and exist and live from these two different essences. One essence is I do what I do, I run my nonprofit, I run this team from a place of worthiness. I believe I'm already worthy, and what I'm doing in my community and in this organization is an overflow of who I am and what I want to give, coming from a place of worthiness. And there's another essence, another energy, another, in the coaching world, we might say, another way of being, another way to be human, where you are working for your worthiness. So you believe, and I don't even want to say these words because I don't even want to speak it about myself. I don't want my subconscious to listen. But I'm gonna say, right? It's the second essence is I'm not worthy, and I will be able to be worthy and good. I will be a good person when I do X for my community, when I reach Y goal, when I have achieved Z outcome, when I get to that place in the future, I will have proved to myself and to others that I'm worthy, that I'm a good person, that I have value. You're working for your worthiness. Your role in your organization, what you do, is not coming from worthiness. It's working for it. That everything that you do is actually to serve you. This sounds really extreme. And of course, it's not black and white, right? It's a spectrum. There's shades of gray here. And not everything, I think even if we don't believe we're worthy, we can still do things out of love. We can still do things because we love others and we're doing it to genuinely serve others. But this overall essence of I'm unworthy, and that identity that people take on, that they believe is who they are, that they're unworthy, it is so poisonous to your fundraising results. And it is such a painful way to live as a human being. And, for those of you who've been listening for a while, you know that I am sort of an amateur in psychology. I am self-taught and I am obsessed with psychology and why do we do the things we do. I think it's so fascinating. Why are we the way that we are? That question is endlessly interesting to me. It's a big reason why I love meeting with donors and getting to know people and meeting new people. I'm fascinated by how did they get like that? Why are they like this? When people have certain values, how did they develop those values? What did they go through? What's their worldview? What were their experiences that led them to be the person they are? I find that so interesting. It's fascinating to me. And in my journey of being a student of why are humans the way we are? And in working with hundreds of nonprofit executive directors, development directors, major gifts officers, I've noticed, of course, a pattern that so many of us are so afraid, right? We lack the courage to ask for more, and so we don't. And we find really smart reasons why we don't do it. Ultimately, it's just because we know we're chicken And, it's like, why do we know someone's wealthy? We know that they care. We know that they're mission aligned. Why don't we ask for more? Why? Right? So these questions have been really interesting to me and have led me down a path of starting my own business, of teaching people how to become the most courageous version of themselves and how to get a better strategy to raise those invisible millions, the millions that are sitting right there and you just are unaware of it. Right. And this has been my journey and I'm so grateful for it. I love what I do. I think it's so fun. It's such an adventure. It's such a joy. It's a thrill. It's challenging. It demands greatness from me. And I try to rise to the challenge as much as I can. And I see this pattern and I have to talk about it because it is the ultimate lie that you are not good, that you are not worthy, that somehow your worthiness is outside of you and you must strive and earn it and people please and acquiesce and shape shift and become a chameleon to everyone around you to make them comfortable, make them happy, meet their expectations, meet their demands, meet their obligations that they put on you to prove your worthiness, to prove that you're good. And this translates into the nonprofit space. We are overworking. We refuse to ask for help because we tell ourselves that we should be able to do this on our own. You should be able to. Why haven't you by now? You should be able to raise $2 million in a year. Why haven't you done it yet? You should be able to raise 20 million. What's your problem? So-and-so did it. You should be able to figure this out on your own. You shouldn't have to invest 10K, 20K, 50K, 100K to learn these lessons. You should be able to. We tell ourselves these lies. And often I see it all stems from the big lie that we are not worthy. We don't ask for help because we're not worthy. We don't ask for more because we're not worthy. We don't ask, we put up with values misaligned donors and funders because we're not worthy. We put up with BS, with harassment because we're not worthy. Who are we to stick up for ourselves? You got to take what you can get. This kind of thinking is toxic. We can't handle hearing no because we're not worthy. So we don't actually ask people straight up because we can't handle no. Because no is somehow a reflection of our identity. We make it mean, it confirms, oh yeah, I'm garbage at this. I'm not worthy of this. I'm no good at this. So when you hear no, that's what you think it means. Because that's the whole story that you tell yourself. It's like, yeah, everything I'm doing, how hard I work, why I'm in the nonprofit world in the first place is because I feel unworthy. And so I got to make something of myself. And if I break my back, if I overwork, if I put more on my plate, if I make everybody happy, if I fill in the gap for our unhelpful board members, if I pick up the slack of the people who are coasting on our team, I'll do all of these things because I want to be good. I desperately want to be good. And the only way that I can be good is if I work so hard, if I struggle, if it is painful, if I suffer for others, then I'll be good. I don't think that people necessarily consciously believe these things. I think that it's largely subconscious. And it is a massive lie that keeps us small. It keeps our teams small because we can't raise more money. We don't raise more money because we feel we're not worthy of more money. More money would mean that we're actually good. Or the opposite, that more money would mean we're bad because rich people are evil, right? And we certainly can't be rich. We need to, as soon as we raise money, we need to get rid of it. Money's evil. As if something that is outside of you could take away your goodness. As if more money could somehow tarnish your identity to the extent that it would render your character bad. This is what we believe. Or that if you don't work hard, or that if you aren't generous, if you aren't sacrificial on behalf of others, that you're somehow bad, that you're a piece of garbage. And you know how you believe that? Because you judge people who have more than you, and you don't understand why they don't give more. And you judge them. That is a surefire way to make fundraising extremely difficult, if not near impossible, because it can be felt. Someone can feel you're judging them, even if you think you're a master at hiding it. And some of you, I'll give it to you, you're super good at pretending like everything's okay, at pretending like you've got it all under control. You're not overwhelmed. You can add more to your plate. Sure. You don't need support. You are the support. You don't need help. You are the help. You're the one, right? It's all on you because you need to do it. Because if you don't, then you're not good. You're not worthy. And I know this. I used to be somebody who really needed other people's approval. I gave in to obligation. I had not great boundaries. It really rocked me when someone I love or someone close to me or someone I respected or admired or who was some kind of authority figure disapproved or was disappointed in me. My first fundraising job, I bent over backwards to the extent that my hair was falling out. I couldn't gain any weight. I was losing weight. I was hardly eating. My sleep was poor. I was so thin and frail and pale, and I was so overworked because I was working so hard to please my boss, and she could not be pleased. Was there a lack of support? Yes. Was I doing way too many things? Yes. Was it toxic environment? Yes. Was I also trying to prove my worth? Yes. Yes, I was. And there is no amount of achievement or impact or money raised or certain milestone marker of people helped or awards or nominations or any kind of recognition. If you don't believe that you're worthy, none of that will do it for you. None of it. Look at how far you've already come. And if you still don't feel worthy, what do you think it's going to take? You think it's going to take more? These are the lies that we believe. And it actually blocks blessings. It blocks big gifts because we refuse help. We overwork. It makes us less effective when we are working. We're super stressed. We're pretending like everything's okay and hiding the fact that we're overwhelmed. You don't build stronger relationships when you're fake. Relationships are built on trust. Trust is built through honesty. When you pretend you're lying to yourself. I know I'm getting all up in your business today. My agenda is for you to break free. It is possible. When you believe this lie that you're not worthy, a symptom of it is that you judge other people, particularly other people who you perceive to be wealthy or have a lot of resources. And you think, well, if they were a good person, they would give more. Yeah, you think that because you think what makes you good is how much good you do. Whereas imagine if you were already convinced that you're worthy, that there's nothing you could do, good or bad, to be more or less worthy. There's no mistake you could make that would tarnish your worth as a human being. And there's no success that could make you more worthy, more good. That even if you don't achieve another thing, if you retired today, if you called it quits, you would still be just as worthy as you are on your best day. That your best day and your worst day, your worthiness has not changed. And there's nothing that anyone can do, and there's nothing that you can do to take that away. It is immovable. It is unshakable. It is something that is eternal. It is transcendent. It doesn't have to do with what you do on this earth. Do I believe that there are people who are doing evil things? Yes. I still think that they have tremendous value as a human being. And they may be one choice away from turning their entire life around. Isn't that what we believe about human beings? Don't we serve people who are down and out? Don't we serve people who are overlooked, who are excluded? Don't we serve people who deserve a second chance? Isn't that what we're all about? Humanity, the love of others, the love of people? When would be a good time to extend that to you? When are you going to give yourself credit for who you are right now, not having achieved another thing? This is such an important conversation that is worthy of self-reflection. And there are only two ways to relate to your worth. Either you accept it or you reject it. And if you reject your worth, then you think you actually have to earn it. That's usually what happens. Either you accept that you're worthy as you are right now, or you reject that notion and you say, I'm going to take it into my own hands and I'm going to earn it. And that's where I see a lot of nonprofit leaders and fundraisers are. And I myself had to decide and accept my worth when I was younger. I mean, some of you know I'm a follower of Jesus. That's my own faith journey. You might have a different faith, a different journey, spiritual journey that you're on. I encourage that. I think that's great. I hope that everyone is on a spiritual journey of some kind. And I receive my value and my worth from God through the person of Jesus. His name is Jesus. And I met him when I was young, and I decided to follow him like a crazy person. Following Jesus, it is kind of nuts. Just I'm giving you a fair warning. I don't think people really understand how radical it is to follow Jesus. To be a cultural Christian is a whole other thing. I'm talking about actually following the life of Jesus and living like how he did. And he was an extremely bold leader. And when I decided to follow him, for real, I was 19. And I made a decision. I knew I accepted my calling from him to serve humanity. Basically, that was the calling that I received when I was 19. I was desperate. I cried out. I asked for an answer from him. I wasn't even sure if he was going to give me an answer. Um, I I was desperate for meaning. I was going through a terrible breakup and my heart was broken, and I was so codependent that my future was tied up in this relationship that no longer existed, and I was desperate for my purpose. And he revealed it to me, and I accepted right then my value. I accepted that there's nothing that I can do to earn God's love, that he considers me his treasure, and you, and every human being, and that there's nothing that anyone can say or do that can threaten or remove my value as a human being, and that every human being has infinite value. And I accept that as my worldview. I accept that as my reality. That's where my worth comes from. And when you derive your worth from something that can be taken away from you, you are putting yourself on really shaky ground. This is the risk that you take. And I encourage you to go on your own journey. I can only speak for myself and say that my unshakable confidence, that my resilience, my grit, my courage, how bold and tell it like it is direct I am, is because I don't need, because I'm coming from worthiness. I've already accepted my worthiness. I don't need you to like me. It'd be cool. I don't need you to become a client. I don't need you to give me a dime. I don't need donors to give. I don't need approval from anyone. I don't need someone to give me recognition. I don't need it. I don't. And when you are working from a place of worthiness, you are so free. Watch out. Nobody can put you in a box. Nobody can cage you. Nobody can do nothing. You are unbreakable. The signs that you're actually worthy are you stop putting up with billionaire crumbs. If somebody's really wealthy, you stop accepting their crumbs from the table and you actually ask for significant contribution, and not just their money, but their influence, their network. You really you ask people to step up because it's not about you. You don't need them to approve of you. You don't even need them to sign on. If they don't want to do it, it's all good. It's not going to do anything to your identity because it's not a reflection of you. It isn't about you. When you're worthy, you don't make all of this about you. You don't make it about, oh, they dislike me. Oh, they don't want to hear from me. Oh, I'm bothering them. All of these things are deeply self-focused. We have to get over ourselves. You have to just accept you're worthy as you are, and you don't have to make every blessed thing about you. Worthiness sounds like, hey, you know what? You made this promise and I'd like for you to come through on it. When are you going to do that? Worthiness sounds like not tolerating BS. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Worthiness looks like firing donors, firing board members, releasing them with respect, but being super clear. You're not meeting the expectations. We're done. Your time is up. It's time for you to take a step back. That's it. It's okay. We appreciate your contribution up until this point. That's what worthiness sounds like. Worthiness sounds like we don't accept restricted gifts. Totally understand if that's what you want to do. That's just not what we do. It's all good. You don't need to strong arm anybody. You need to convince someone. You don't have to use these tactics and tricks to get people to do something. No. Worthiness is like, yeah, we have standards, and these are our standards. And if those don't align with you, it's all good. But this is who we are. This is what we're about. These are the standards that we uphold. That's your job as a leader, period. Worthiness sounds like you don't need to prove anything. You're not doing this to prove something to yourself. You're already convinced that you're kick-ass awesome. You're not doing this to prove something. What are you trying to prove? Nothing. When you're trying to prove nothing, do you know that freedom? You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Worthiness looks like you can handle hearing no. You don't need to hear yes all the time, because no isn't a rejection of you. No isn't a reflection of you. It's just a no. It's okay. You're going to live because you're not trying to get a yes so that you can feel good about yourself. Oh, thank God. Oh. You can ask for more. You can take risks because you can handle failure. You don't need to succeed every day because, again, it's not about you. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Too many of us, my friend, too many of us are working ourselves to the bone, into the hospital, into disease and illness, and sacrificing precious moments with our young children and giving up our health and our mental well-being because we just don't believe we're good. Worthiness advocates for yourself. Worthiness says, no. What you're asking me to do is 3 people's jobs. I'm not doing that. If you want to do a direct mail campaign, we need to hire someone to do it. Period. Worthiness is, hey, look, you want me to raise $5 million? All these meetings you want me to go to, I can't do both. Either you want me to raise 5 million or you want me to be a person who goes to a lot of meetings. Like, which one is it? Because I thought you hired me to raise $5 million. If you want me to raise $5 million, here's what I need. And if you're not supported, if you're not given what you need, worthiness is like, you know what? I will find something better. It's okay. This isn't the right fit for me. What you're looking for is something else. That's not who I am. It's not what I'm about. I'm not the right fit. I just declined a keynote speech that was paid for a, quote, dream client. I just turned it down. I said yes originally, and then as we were going, they were really late. They were completely disorganized. It was a lot of wasted time. They were late to pay me. They were like late to get back to me. It was such a stressful pain in the neck. And I thought, I need to let them go. I don't tolerate this. I have too much self-respect. I've spoiled myself with amazing clients, and I don't have to put up with these shenanigans. There are just some turkeys out there. You got to let go of them. You got to let go. Bye, turkeys. See ya. So I wrote him back. I said, hey, and this organization is internationally known. It would have been amazing to be their keynote. But the amount of stress that it was causing me was not worth it. And I do not want to put out there that this is the kind of person that I am, that I tolerate shenanigans. Because whatever you tolerate, you will get more of. I do not want to put up with this bullcrap. So I said, hey, I don't think it's the right fit. Sorry. Sorry to, whatever, it's going to be inconvenient for you, but these are the reasons why. And I don't do those things. I don't do this. I don't do that. I mean, I named my standards and I said, I just don't do that. That's my explanation. Why? Because I don't need it. I'm good. And I know that other opportunities that are not stressful will come. I don't need that. What you tolerate, you're going to get more of. What are you putting up with? What are you tolerating? Maybe you need to fire some donors and release them. Hey, it sounds like you need XYZ, and we don't do that. I can recommend that you donate somewhere else. I can tell you, when I turned down this opportunity, I felt immediate relief. I was like, oh, that was for sure the right choice. Because I'm good. I'm good as I am right now. And I don't need anyone to agree with me on that. And they might misunderstand me. They might think I'm a bitch. I don't know what they're going to think. I don't know. It's not my problem. I just have raised the standard on who I am becoming, and who I want to work with. And as a result, those kinds of high level people are drawn to me. And I get to actually be more of who I am. I get to authentically show up as myself. I'm not people pleasing. I'm not manipulating. I'm not trying to get people to think a certain thing about me or act a certain way around me. I'm not looking for particular responses from donors. I'm not trying to cause certain reactions in people. I'm just showing up as me, which takes a lot less effort. It's just so difficult to try to be this buttoned up professional fake version of yourself who's trying to prove something. We call those people insecure. And it takes a lot of energy to be around people who are super insecure, doesn't it? I mean, because everything's about them and they're so sensitive. They can't handle much because everything is like, they're like a walking wound, and everything is somehow a reflection of their worthiness, their identity. They're not good enough. It's an attack. And they're constantly defensive because they don't agree that they're worthy. They don't actually believe it. And we see this. We see people pursue wealth, pursue success, pursue fame, recognition, whatever it is, proving people wrong. We see people do this. They achieve what they wanted to achieve, material success, whatever that looks like for them. And it doesn't do for them what they thought it would. And unfortunately, it seems that's the lesson that a lot of people have to learn themselves, right? We don't heed the wisdom. We don't heed the advice. People rarely do. Like, oh yeah, fame isn't going to make you feel worthy. I'd like to find out for myself, right? It's like, I'm going to be the one person who proves that wrong. I'll show you. I'm going to be famous. And when I'm famous, I'm actually going to feel good about myself. No, you won't. I've achieved success. I've raised millions of dollars, and it didn't do for me what I thought it would. It didn't feel like how I thought it would feel. It was another Tuesday. And, of course, I'm telling you this from the other side. Maybe you're just going to have to figure that out on your own. But you will have to decide, I'm going to work hard either way, right? Whether I'm worthy or unworthy, you're going to work hard either way. That's who you are. That's who I am as well. Do you want to work hard and achieve impossible things feeling unworthy? or feeling worthy. Either way, you're going to achieve impossible things. You're going to work really hard. How would you like to feel about yourself while you do it? It's your choice. And there are tools and resources available to you to accept your worthiness. The big lie that we believe is that there's something we need to do and a level of achievement that will give us our worthiness. And it's not true. And it keeps us alone, isolated, suffering, overworking, pretending, people pleasing, asking for too little, raising too little, overworking because we don't have enough people on our team, and round and round and round we go. All the while, we're not good enough. When would be a good time to accept your worthiness? What will it take for you to agree? Okay, God says I'm worthy. I'm going to accept that. And I'm going to give and serve from that place of worthiness. And there's nothing I can do that would threaten it. There's nothing I can do that would have my worthiness be taken away. There's nothing I can do that would earn more worthiness. It just is. The choice is yours. Accept it. Reject it. What will you do? And if you know that it's time for you to stop going it alone, to get a new elevated way of thinking, get a better strategy and skills to raise more money, then let's work together. I would love to support you. You must decide who you are and who you want to be. Who are you becoming? And how will you feel about yourself? These questions, the answers to these questions, greatly impact and in many ways determine your fundraising results. When it comes down to it, often it is you. It's an inside game. You've heard me say it before, and I'm saying it again. I know this was really personal. I don't think it gets more personal than this. You're not alone. You do not have to do this alone. You were not designed to do it alone. Nothing. Isolation is not the answer. And if you want, you can reach out to me. Get inside a community of people who agree that you are worthy as you are right now. That could be church. That could be some kind of community that's, values aligned in some way. Whatever that looks like for you, it is possible. And I will see you next time.